Hello guys, sorry that it's been a bit of a while since I've done market recap. I've had so much shit going on in my personal life. But I'm back now for good, in full force. And let's just start chewing through some charts. We had some weird, if anyone remembers, like the week, I think it was about a couple of weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago in FX, that was absolutely just fundamentally fucked. You had the tariffs, all that kind of shit going on. You had Brexit going on, with Boris Johnson coming in as my country's new prime minister, which is to me, I don't really give a fuck about the in-depth politics and get involved in all that shit. I just like the guy that's makes me laugh when I see him flash up on TV, and Boris Johnson's definitely the candidate for that. He is just an absolute wrecking ball. But let's get back into the charts now, guys. Let's cover everything from the forex to crypto to oil to commodities, all that jazz. So we're starting off in Australian dollar to Canadian dollar here now. I'm just having a look at the Australian dollar. It's just getting plummeled by the Canadian dollar. You can just see this long trend now. This is a weekly chart. It's just been getting battered. And it's starting to get into these oversold levels on the RSI. And as you can see, when you do actually get to these kind of levels on the RSI on a weekly chart, you can get some very long-term moves in either direction. So as you can see here, oversold. Look, you get these sharp moves up. Round around this range as well, you get these sharp moves up. Round here, you get this bounce. Now these are only like really dead cat bounces, but just because it's a weekly chart, you know you've got a long term play. If you're looking on the 4 hour chart, you can get some really good moves. High here, it did pull back, but nothing too major. But look at this one here. When you got to these oversold levels, you know, huge bounce. You can really catch some pips in these kind of charts. Now you're at this support level here. As you can see, look, it reclaimed that level. Dip below, reclaim. So you're at this support level now. So it's interesting to actually keep an eye on these kind of levels, especially when you're oversold as well. It just really matches up with some great plays. But there's nothing really to be said at the moment regarding this chart on a daily chart. You can see it's just consolidating sideways. You're in a bit of a range. Obviously, anything above there, you can start looking for reversals. But on the 4 hour chart, we do what we like to do. We like to stick these on a line chart, and we look for some key areas. Now you can see this area here was perfect off this support level. So you've had the bounce, and then what we've got here, guys, we didn't get it on the RSI, but you did. I mean, you didn't get it on the MACD, sorry, but you did have the RSI 4 hour bullish divergence here. You can see that higher low while price is creating a lower low. And you Kasimodo that level right here, and you bounce to the T. If you had to stop below, it ran up to these highs, to this area here of resistance, and now you've just turned back down. You've got this Kasimodo level here that played out perfectly as well. As you can see, the sharp moves are the ones you want. But you didn't really have nothing, no overbought reading here, but nonetheless the trend is down. So you could have been playing this either way. Either way there was quite nice. But this low definitely wouldn't want to be shorting right into this region here. I'd like to see us get below and see if we can start shorting there. But for now, there's no play there on the Australian dollar to Canadian Japanese yen. I just want to quickly show you, actually, before I go through all these, my play right now that I'm really liking. So as you can see here, the pound to Kiwi, and obviously you've got to be a bit aware here with your risk, especially with the UK being in the news so much along with Brexit, and a lot's changing right now. But as you can see, technically alone, you see this resistance point here. Don't take a genius to work out here. You get this high here, fails to break above, then you get another high, and then what do you get here? A Kasimodo off that level, as you can see if I put it onto a line chart. As you can see, off this swing high here, and it taps into it perfectly and just sells off, and then you get this movement here where you dip below and then reclaim and get back up. But now we're back at resistance as well, and you can see that you're starting to get a bit high here. You've got a divergence. It's not going to be overbought divergence, but you can see here as you're breaking to new highs, you're not actually breaking to new highs on the RSI. You're creating a lower high here, and then going on to the 4 hour, you've got these bearish divergences from this level down. And you've created this Kasimodo here. Now, this is exactly what you want to see when you have a Kasimodo, a sharp sell-off. See, I'll break above and a sharp sell-off. That means a lot of sellers have been stepping in there. And as you can see, this just matches and aligns to this daily resistance. So it's a great level to take a short here. If I show you this on the candle chart, just to see, it's actually just wicking off right now. Like so, look perfectly to the level here. So a trade for me would be stop above the high, and then mark out some levels. That's the obvious level. Kind of prefer this level here. And then this level. So it'd be kind of just about compounding and just taking profits along the way. So your first target 1.87, second one will come down to about 3, and then the last one to about 4, but compound as we go down. But another thing to actually keep aware of here is continuation plays as well. So as you can see on the daily here, you had this level, previous swing low, you reclaimed above that, and now this actually became, and if I show you this here on the 4 hour, was this level right round here. Now you've double bottomed, but another thing to keep aware of here is, as you can see, price never broke to a new low there. It just held that level. In fact, it didn't even touch down into that level. But what you actually do have is a hidden bullish divergence. So as you can see here, the RSI was printing lower lows, while price was creating higher lows. So you have a continuation set up there on a support level. So that was a signal to go higher. But at the moment now, you can just see you've got to keep intact with all your higher time frame perspectives. So at this level, it was a good long, but you have to be taking profits at this resistance area right around here. So what you've actually got now is just this range. But we'll be looking down for this first target, like I said, from these highs. You've rejected off that high, a Kasimodo reclaim, and start looking lower for targets. Australian dollar to Japanese yen, as you can see, this massive SFP here, just really signalling the buyers are stepping in. You can see all this bullish action as well. So we are looking for longs now. What I'm looking for is a play off this level right around here. As you can see, you've got all this support around here. So now you've got that sharp move above this little swing high. I know it's just a sideways candle, but for me now, I'll be sticking some limit orders around this area here, the 71.10, and we'll be looking to go higher. As you can see, we've just swept all these lows from down this area here, and now you're back above on support. So if I can get down to this entry here, this will give me a perfect entry. It didn't quite make it round here, so I will just start setting limit orders from 71.15 and then just scaling them down to 71.05. Stop, just because this is a nasty wick, you know, my stop will just go right around here, and we'll start targeting areas such as this high here on the daily, this range high, and if we can get above this area around here, and then we'll start trying to get these highs for liquidity. There's so much liquidity around this area, just round about there. So if we can get this entry round about here, this will be perfect for us. You can see the daily oversold. There wasn't no divergences there, but you do have the daily divergences, so you can expect, if there is daily divergences, you can expect even bigger bounces than a 4 hour. So Australian dollar there against the Kiwi has just been absolutely steamrolling. Right around here, you're just taking out this resistance area at the moment. All the way back to that Kasimodo level, just round about here as well. So this is a strong resistance round about here. It seems to be trying to break out today, but we'll keep an eye on it. Nothing really to be said until we see some movement on the 4 hour. There isn't really a setup there. Maybe that almost would have trapped you around about this area here. But we'll see what happens here. We'll see if we can actually just break below this swing low. If we get a sharp move, ideally here, a sharp move below this swing point, and then Kasimodo it. So something like this. Yeah, and then your stop would just be above here, but it is a bit weird sometimes shorting Australian dollar and then longing it. Obviously here it's kind of looking like you want to long it if we do get it set up, and then against the Kiwi, you know, it's kind of looking like a short, so it is always dodgy diverging against pairs. So we had that Kasimodo level here. But just like the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, you know, you've got this massive SFP here. You're just wicking below these areas. And it's looking a bit nasty at the moment. There's an obvious clear level here. And it's this right around this area here. Obviously, you see the little divergence here on the RSI. So we'll see if we can get down to the area. It's looking like it might want to bounce for the moment, but that's so messy on the actual candlesticks. You can see this long wick here, just running all that liquidity out from these lows around about here. Anyone that was trying to short those, but it's looking kind of bullish right now for the best part. But it is choppy action if you're looking at that on the 4-hour chart. Euro AUD, we did do this Kasimodo here, taking out this swing low, just tested it perfectly and then just sold off. We came back to it, it's just rejected again. It's kind of a bit of a messy chart, to be honest with you guys. Aside from that we had, you know, it's just kind of looking like an actual... bit weird there. You can see that level. It's dipped below, and then you was hoping that it may actually just reclaim and hold that level, but it's just chopping through that. So nothing to be said right now. There's better setups out there. EuroCAD looking like a hot mess. Just start funneling around about that support level, but it's just chopping through it. It's not too clean. Euro, Great British Pound. Remember, this one has just been soaring and soaring and soaring. It seems like it's come to an end. You had this level here. I was hoping to try and break a swing low here before actually getting to this area, but it's just reclaimed it and sold off. Now you've got this area here, and you've dipped below it briefly. As you can see, you dip below it. This is like one of the continuation setups. We wanted to get above it and hold it. Now, as you can see, did it Kasimodo? I don't think it did, but you've got a 4-hour divergence here. No, it's just a long wick there. But you can see where it's just dipped this area, and then it's just shot straight back up, and now it's starting to hold. You do have divergence on a 4-hour on the MACD and the RSI. So, you know, potentially now this is looking like it could be a good area to long. You do have a lot of news coming up, so you'd have to be careful with that. But stop just below, and then target some areas. So you can see a lot of area of resistance here, and then just go up back to that Kasimodo area. You know, you could maybe set a good long here. It's got a good opportunities here. So the Euro Great British Pound is one of my favourites there. What was the other one? I'll go back to them after. Again, against the Japanese yen. Yen has just been pummeling and just absolutely been rocketing on fire, sending all these other currencies down in the dumps. But it's looking like everything's getting really, really extended now. We can see some pops in some currencies. But that chart is looking like a mess to me. It's never nice when you find a Kasimodo level like this and you just see, imagine if you did get a hold of that one. But this one as well is just SFP'd off these highs. You can see these highs run you diverging as well. We'll be looking for a level to actually try and get an entry. Right now, it's not much going on. There was a little entry here that would have sold off a little bit, but nothing really to show for that. You can see this area. There's a huge Kasimodo level up here. But you are at this resistance level. So we'll have a look to see if we can get a nice little Kasimodo here or something. Especially with the daily being like this. You've got the SFP as well off that level. It could be a good short. Maybe if potentially you just want to take a short off that level anyway without watching the Kasimodo, you know, seeing it SFP through that level at resistance, you know, you could get a good short here. But I'd preferably rather wait for a 4 hour. See if we can get a Kasimodo or a reclaim or some kind of entry. Otherwise, that could just shoot through. Euro, US dollar, I can tell you from a mile off that it looks like an ugly chart. Now, the thing is, when you get charts like this, the pound, Australian dollar, you're just cutting through this level here, and it's not too clean. You can see you went above, below, and now you're kind of holding it. You did get this kind of like weird reclaim, and then you did get this weird reclaim on this side as well. It's just chop, basically. You're just getting chopped here. As you can see, it's basically from there to there. You've got this Kasimodo here. You've got this reclaim here. So there's nothing really to be wasting equity on there. Try to gamble on that one. Pound CAD had this Kasimodo. It broke slightly higher. Skip. Look at this price action on the 4 hour. It's just ugly. But daily Kasimodo retesting that level over and over again with the divergence of the RSI. So basically we just want to see if we can get above this level now. If we can get above that level, there's nothing really to be. The problem is it's a lot cleaner on the daily than it is there. So we've seen this one here. We've seen the pound and the Kiwi. We can see we're retesting this area now on the Great British Pound to US dollar. See. I want to see if this actually comes back here to retest this level. As you can see, look, you had this bullish hidden divergence as well here. You can see, look, you've got a higher low there, and then here you've got a lower low. So that's just a continuation setup. Really, you want to see it touch into support and just double bottom. If you have a double bottom and then you have this bullish divergence, they're normally good low risk triggers here. But now you're going to have to wait to see if you can get above this area and retest it. So if you see this level start holding, I'd like this for a long, really. Considering we're over support on the higher time frame here, and you seem to be holding it, and you can just start targeting these areas around here. So that one looks quite nice as well. New Zealand, Canadian dollar, just getting pummeled at the moment. Nothing for us. Looking ugly. Looking ugly. So, oil. Now, I like going into the SFP section with our oil strategy. Now, when you do this, guys, I like to have two charts open. I like to have a Wando chart open. And I like to have TVC US oil open. So that is, if you just type in US oil. I like to have both so you can actually see that they are SFP on both exchanges. If you can get the confluence of both, that's like a stronger signal. Sometimes you'll see it happen on one exchange and not on the other. It's kind of like when you trade Bitcoin and you're looking at Binance chart and a MEX chart. But you can see here you would have been stopped out. No, you wouldn't have actually. So we've closed above. But you get this RSI divergence here. Now, if the 15-minute chart is overbought on either side, this gives you its confluence as well. So as you can see here, you was diverging as well on the 15-minute as well as the 5-minute. So you can see this high here, and then you try breaking to a new high and you've closed below. On the 5-minute, this was from this area here, going down to this area. And as you can see, you get a nice short trigger. As soon as this candle closes, you can actually set another limit up as well if you didn't like that candle. If you stop above and you're moving nicely now, where was the other one? Around about this area, nothing. You want it to be a quick move. Coming down to this area, round about here, there was nothing. And then as you can see, look, when this is oversold as well, and you get these 5-minute ones. It didn't really diverge at all, but you do get a 15-minute divergence from the MACD, and you get a more powerful move. So as you can see, it just closes above, and it just gives you a nice little run there on WTI COUSD. Couldn't have done a longer fucking ticker for oil. And the S&P 500. As soon as it dropped out of that range there, we've just been chopping, and now we've just got this new area. You've got this Kasimodo level that it's starting to bounce on, but it's just, there's nothing really for me wanting to long this right now, with everything going on. But as you can see, it just tapped in perfectly. So if we can get underneath that and reclaim this level, I'd like to see us start going for obviously that area there, but there's no really risk to reward on it. And then you can just start coming down to these areas here. Now, an area that I've really got my eye on is this area around about here. So if we can close above, if we can close below this area around about here, it starts to target this area here, and below that, you're looking at this next area here. So there's support's really running out with this move if we can get below this area here. And now you see these lows here, but I don't think they'll hold at all, to be honest, if we can get below that area. So we'll see what happens. But just be a bit patient with this at the moment. Like, listen, if this starts breaking down, you know, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to short it. So just take your time with it. Be a bit patient. Let's get into crypto. Bitcoin. I'm still holding my short. Where the fuck is... Oh, there you go. So I'm still holding my short from 12k. Remember I posted that long analysis on why I was short at the area. It was all from the weekly chart. And it was all built all the way down from that. So as you can see, the weekly chart here, it had this resistance and you've just been wicking over it, and then this was when I actually made my short around about this area here, when we just started failing to break down from the area, break above it, and everyone was super bullish, and I was thinking, fair enough, we're consolidating underneath resistance, but this is a weekly chart, give it some time. You've had this massive run from 3,000 all the way up. It's not just going to keep ripping. Like, I know it does it here, but you know, things need breathers. It's healthy it's healthy to be breathing and moving this way rather than just going parabolic. Because you see, when we do go parabolic, you just have crashes that last for a lengthy amount of time, and it just takes ages for this to happen and reaccumulate and get up. So it's nice to see that this is actually happening with us right now, and I still want to see this area get taken out again, and I'd like to see us go a little bit further below. But I'm thinking around about 8,800, maybe to 8,200. That's kind of an area that I'd like to see Bitcoin actually drop down to. And as you can see, a lot of people are just seeing this is super bullish right now, like maybe a flag or these old school patterns. But for me, I just think we're just going a bit lower, maybe dip below this level and then reclaim this level. How many people would that fuck up? Try to get liquidity out of that. Everyone just try to relong this area. Imagine how much liquidity basically from this double bottom here is going to be sussed with stop losses in this area. Just imagine. So we can get below that area and then reclaim that area. That would be an area that I'd actually like to start longing if we get into that red area and reclaim that level. Now, Ethereum's always a bit cleaner. Let's see what we get. So you're at this area now, this potential, well, previous breakout spot, but there is a little bit lower. Is this area around about here? So for me, really now, as you can see, this was like that continuation pattern when you retest it, you break out, you retest, and you dip below. And for me now, I kind of want to get back to this area here. If we can get back to this area here, for me, that'd be perfect. And obviously you have this Kasimodo area as well. Look, you see this swing low point, and then you bounce, and then you break back below, and then you have this sharp move up. This is like a Kasimodo area now. So really for me, everyone's probably trying to get long here. I'd like to dip once more down into the 160 range. And then for me, that would be really good. And then there's a longer term play here. Enter there, and then you can compound, get down below, break up. And then that's an add spot for me right here. I'm going to just start targeting this area. And then this area around about here. And then we'll see if we can take these highs, but one step at a time for Ethereum. Now, altcoins, a few things have been going on with these. I was looking at one earlier, but it's just this, I don't know, there's something that doesn't look right about them right now. There's something that's holding me back. Especially where I'm looking at Bitcoin potentially going down. But was it one earlier? Fuck. Yeah, you see this Kasimodo area here. There wasn't really no divergences at all, but it was just kind of holding around. There's nothing really on altcoins that really makes me want to risk my capital. Just because of the nature of Bitcoin, like, it just takes one shit move from Bitcoin and all these just fucking plummet and you just get stopped down every single position. So if you are going into altcoins, don't over risk anything on those. But for me right now, I'd just rather just sit around, trade some forex and trade some commodities. And just sit in my Bitcoin short and just play around Bitcoin. Like, at the moment, Bitcoin, you saw that before. There's just nothing really on lower time frames. You just got this choppy action, just going sideways. So there's nothing really there. Like, this was a perfect Kasimodo play, I suppose, off that level, and that would have given a really good trade. But there's nothing. You're just getting shocked right now. So it's just nothing really going on with that. But I'll keep you up to date, guys. No worries at all. Those forex charts that I picked out, I'm gonna go through them again quickly on my own, and I'll send those into the sections on Discord, just so you can see all the setups and do what you have to do with them. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. This chat room will be now more active. I'll be getting more videos out as promised. Thanks for watching, guys.